had a website, but it wasn't, it was almost like a vanity project back then. Now it is like an entrance fee to have a business.
Good. Hey, I wanted to let you know that the Google guarantee, the Google ads, man, I'm getting 12 to 16 calls a week.
My goal is at least do 10 to 15 more years, grow it up, sell it for 40, 50 million, maybe more.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Titan Talks. My name is Jonathan Stern. I'm an engineer at Topline Pro, but once a week, I have the honor of sitting down with successful home service entrepreneurs to discuss their journeys to success. Today is May 3rd, 2024, and my guest is Cameron Williams. Cameron is the owner and operator of Camco Commercial Doors, a professional garage door installation company in Knoxville, Tennessee. Cameron started off in the residential garage door space, but has recently transitioned to commercial doors, including airplane, hangar doors, and more. Cameron, thanks so much for taking the time today, and welcome to Titan Talks.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
To get started, would love to hear how you got into the commercial doors, into the garage doors industry. Could you kick us off with an origin story?
Sure. So I am a fourth generation garage door installer and service guy. So I have been in this industry for a long time. I've grown up with my dad teaching us how to service and work on the doors. My grandfather and my great grandfather. So I have been in the business for quite some time before I really branched off and started my own business. So just growing up and understanding how it works really helped me have an understanding of that trade. But it wasn't quite until I really took the leap. I guess it was back in 2017. Took the leap and started my own small business. And from there, I've learned so much more about business and just working with people, marketing. There's so much more that I've learned, not just in the garage door industry over the past few years, that has really helped me to grow. There was a lot of things that you don't really learn until you get out there and do it. And so, yeah, I think it's some of that stuff was self-taught. I've got a lot of mentors, friends, other business owners that I can reach out to when I have questions. And I also help some of my friends and other people around me that have questions. So it's been a great experience, not just learning about the garage door industry, but some of the business side of things that I can help other people with in other trades. You know, I've referred several other small businesses such as myself to Topline Pro, and I think it works great. It's great for any level of business, you know, the entry level up to the, you know, some larger companies that could utilize your all's website and your service. So I think it's really been helpful, the way you all just operate and the software you all offer. So yeah, happy to be on here and explain a little bit about what we've got going.
So you said your father was in the industry, your grandfather was in the industry, and your great grandfather. Was there a Williams family business, or were they not the owners?
That's right. Yes, they are still. So that's where I've learned a lot of what I'm doing.
Why did you decide to branch off from your father and create your own thing?
You know, growing up, I think I wanted to work with them. But sometimes working with family can be a little tough, a little tricky, a lot of headbutting. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it doesn't. I think for us, me starting my own business was probably the best route for me. You know, some other people take over the family business and it works great. I'm not sure that was exactly best route for me. So it took some time to tell. I'm definitely grateful for everything that they've taught me and I've learned growing up. I just like I said, it was back in 2016, 17. I split off on my own, and so I had quite a bit of experience before splitting off, and so um,
Yep.
there was a lot of things that I didn't know, jumping into my own business that I had to learn. I had to ask. I had to learn the hard way, pay fines and fees and different taxes and a lot of paperwork that I wasn't aware of. So it's definitely been a learning experience.
What would you say was the hardest challenge in the early days?
In the early days, probably gaining leads. When growing up, in this industry, a lot of people knew uh, what I did, and so I had a lot of people that already, called on me. I had quite a bit of leads out of the gate, but I think just growing those leads was probably one of the challenges, one of the bigger challenges. There are some lead generators. It wasn't until I think the first website I had was with you all with Topline Pro. And so um, it wasn't until I really had Topline Pro until I started getting noticed online, with my Google business listing. They had somewhere to click and see our website, not just a Facebook or Instagram or Home Advisor page. So I think that the website was really helpful for that to gain leads.
Before the website with Topline Pro, what was your main form of marketing? Was it the social media sites or did you do something else?
Yeah, I think it was the social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, mainly Facebook. Facebook's been huge for us. All the different groups that are free to enter. I really recommend people join those groups for low cost leads. Of course, they're not guaranteed, but there are people in a lot of the Facebook groups that are looking for services in the kind of blue collar industry.
Can you say more about those groups? So there's just a group of, is it pros or homeowners or both? And the homeowners are asking for garage door services. What's that like?
Yeah, so there are a lot of online Facebook groups in each area, probably of the U.S. Whatever state you're in, as a small business owner, you can look up um, different towns, different cities throughout your area, within a 20 to 50 mile radius, and add yourself to those groups, whether it be east side of town, west side, north side, south side of town. You'll find you've got some yard sale sites, some local neighborhood sites, some sites where some groups where people live around the lake or in gated communities. And if you join those groups, there are people soliciting blue collar trades, not even just blue collar trades. People make comments, who can service my garage door, who can uh replace my garage door, who can, unclog a toilet, whatever the situation is. And there's people, looking on there. I will say myself, I go to Google and search for something, whether I'm in at home or if I'm looking for, somewhere good to eat. I'm big on Google, but those looking for leads as a business owner, I think that, for low cost leads, the Facebook pages are great. And when you do a lot of good work in an area, people really start to tag you on those posts that other people post. So it's pretty common for us a few times a week to have, you know, two or three posts, but then we get tagged probably 10 times on each post. I mean, when someone in one of these groups looks for a garage door repair, I've got people on Facebook that are, tagging us left and right. And it's really great to see those customers. Some of them are friends, some of them family, some of them just straight up customers that have used us several times over the years. And they just seeing all those recommendations really makes you feel good that we're doing great work and getting some return customers. So the Facebook has really been huge for us gaining leads, as well as the website. We're getting a lot more of the website leads now than we did starting out. Your Google business listing plays a big role in where you're placed on there, and some of the organic stuff that you've got to get in line to get ranked higher on that list of uh, the Google business listing. So, um, yeah, I think Facebook was great for the leads.
We always hear that one of the best things you can do for the Google business listing is get more reviews. What do you do after a great job for a customer? Because the customers are happy, they're posting about you on Facebook groups. After a job, what do you do to try to get a review out of them?
We try to ask about reviews pretty often. It's common for us to even still get reviews without asking, but yes, we ask for reviews. If I'm not, I think the Topline Pro, they have a feature where we can request reviews from the customers um, upon completion of the job. It kind of like an automated link that gets sent to their phone through Topline Pro. So that's a pretty neat feature that you all offer as well. So um, yeah, reviews are play a pretty big role in that the ranking of the Google business listings. So those are very important to us.
So you started with residential garage doors, right? You've sort of pivoted or transitioned, and now you offer commercial garage doors, including airplane hangars, massive doors. Why did you decide to make the transition? Why was it the right time? What about the commercial space was appealing to you?
I think probably at a young age, I kind of mastered the residential side. The doors are much smaller, pretty simple, but really when you get to a bigger scale, it's very similar, just a little bit larger scale. So I think that I'm maybe a little fascinated by the larger doors. A big project and a big job like that just kind of gives me a sense of satisfaction when we can go in and do a great job, execute, and make it look and function well. As far as the hangar doors, those are kind of like a whole nother type of door that here in the last probably 5 years, I've really got to get some experience under my belt with installing, servicing. We've got some manufacturers that are referring us as like they're one of their certified installers. So we're getting tons of calls with the hanger service and installation. But yeah, I think that just being in the garage door industry as long as I I've got a pretty good understanding of the residential doors, and then into the commercial side of things. When I started back in 2017, it was Camco commercial back then as well. So even from starting in 2017, it's been uh, uh, one of my top priorities to go with a lot of commercial work. So we still do quite a bit of residential work. I would say probably close to 50-50. We do quite a bit of residential work in our area. So I think a mix of both is good for business. So
I think that's a good transition into the state of your business today. Would love to hear how many team members do you have, and how do you divide up the team?
yeah, so we've got myself plus three installers, and I've got an assistant. Um, so I guess there's five of us. Um, it just depends on the day and the week. We've got slow weeks, we've got busy weeks, kind of depending on, the volume of work we have scheduled each week. I kind of split myself and the guys up. I'm still in and out of the field. We've definitely grown over the past 7-8 years. And, back in 2017, I was the main installer service guy on every job. And now We've got quite a bit of work coming in, and it's hard to be on every single job site. So I try to oversee a lot of the larger commercial jobs. Like I was saying a minute ago, the residential doors are quite a bit easier than a commercial project, and so I try to let my guys handle most of the residential work. And then, some commercial jobs, I'll step in. I'll, get on the ladder, get on the lift, and be right there with the guys installing as well. Throughout the week, if I'm not in the field, I'm normally running around checking jobs, measuring jobs, giving estimates, quotes, following up with customers. So it's definitely been a challenge learning to juggle your employees because we had a guy not show up today that I was banking on being here for a job. And so, when I used to be I'll be honest, I used to be the kid that was late to work, probably didn't come in some days. And so now I'm on the other end being the, the boss. And, I've got guys that do that to me. And so now I kind of understand why it puts people in a pinch when your employees don't show up because um, I've got to find someone to fill their shoes or reschedule the work. And so rescheduling work doesn't always, customers aren't thrilled when you have to do stuff like that. So juggling employees is definitely tough. They tell you, hey, next week I'm going on vacation. You've got to work some things around, move some jobs, or just kind of step it up and put a heavier workload on a couple other people. So having employees was definitely something I always wanted, but you know, it's a skill having to deal with um, their schedules and their ability to complete jobs. Sometimes I've got to be a little more patient than I feel like I should be with employees, but um, I've got some great people around me that really bust their butts, and so I try not to be too critical on sick days or when they're late or if they just don't get a job done in a timely fashion. So I try to be understanding of that, but having employees is definitely a challenge, and that's one of the growing pains, something that you have to learn along the way that it really probably makes you a better boss having to deal with it and grow from it. So I'd say we'll continue to grow and hire some more and continue to learn different tricks.
Where do you see the company in 3 years or in 5 years, Cameron?
So I'm gonna say maybe 5 years. I'd like to, probably double what I've got going on now. Maybe have close to 10 employees. We just built a new 5,000 square foot shop. I'd like to probably build a bigger, maybe a 10,000 square foot shop. The numbers are growing. The business is growing. Employees are growing. So the sky's the limit, and I have high hopes for us. So I hope to continue to grow and see how far we can go.
Would there be any upgrades in equipment as you scale, or do you have all of the equipment that you could ever want?
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll have some new trucks, new lifts, new trailers. My guys are constantly asking for brand new trucks and equipment, and I've got paid off trucks and trailers, forklift, scissor lift equipment. All my equipment's paid off, but I'm slowly inching towards getting ready for brand new, everything wrapped. We definitely want nicer, newer equipment. It just takes a little while to get there. So
I want to ask you about your process. Let's say the project of your dreams comes in. You find out about it on a Facebook group, or maybe they send you a text from the website. What is your process the moment you get that lead to closing the lead and then doing the job?
So initially when we get a lead from Topline, our first thing we do would be to call the customer and set up some type of meeting, an appointment with the customer to come out, take some measurements, bring some brochures, see what they might be interested in, whether it's a repair or a replacement. Oftentimes we can get some of those details over the phone initially when we first talk to them and see what they might be interested in. Some of them already know exactly what they're looking for. In that situation, we can get them pricing immediately, or go out to the site, take some measurements, brochures, see what needs to be done. At that point, we would get them an estimate. Either we have a lot of products in stock, or if it's something that need to be ordered, it may take 2 to 4 weeks for a custom garage door to come in. So anywhere from 1 to 4, 1 to 4 weeks on a new install. Service work, it pretty well gets done immediately, same day, or 1 to 5 days later, depending on the situation. And then we, normally schedule a replacement. Replacement takes, half day. And once, the job is complete, settle up, and that's pretty well what it consists of.
When you don't close a lead, Cameron, what's the most typical reason?
Um, you know, Back in 2020, when COVID came around, garage door prices really pretty much doubled in price. So I feel like sometimes it's the price. People aren't aware that garage doors have gone up a good bit in price. Um, you know, I'm not sure what else would be the reason for us not, quotes not getting approved. We may not exactly be the absolute cheapest company in town. We do get some customers that call and they want the cheapest possible option on the market. And so, having employees, having workers' comp, insurance, things like that. We can't always be the absolute cheapest in town. So, um, other than price, I'm not real sure why we don't land customers, um, but yeah.
You've been in the industry basically your whole life, I think it's fair to say, given, your father and grandfather and great-grandfather. How have you seen the garage door industry evolve just over the course of your lifetime?
Um, the door industry, so we still go out and replace some garage doors that I think were installed probably in the probably 40s, 50s. And so just taking a look at those in comparison to what we install, there are some significant differences. It definitely seems like
Yeah, I would think so.
back in the day they made thicker products. Everything was thicker. Car doors were thicker. Now we've got thin steel in comparison to what used to be a lot thicker steel. So there are some things that I will say it maybe used to be a little better, but nowadays there are a lot more options, insulation options, color options, design options, just functionality options. The garage door motors have really evolved. We can operate most of these doors and gates, hangers off of our cell phone pretty quickly. We get notifications when they open and close. We can have cameras and lights on our phones that light up, when you're using them. So I think that I've seen a lot of change, all the way down to the way the door is installed. Back in the 50s, I'm sure my great grandfather used a screwdriver to put screws in, rather than today we've got these fancy DeWalt and Milwaukee impacts where we can just zip them in. So we're probably, doing installs in half the time now, in comparison to what it used to take. So I feel pretty fortunate that we're in the time and that we have the technology that we do, to be able to do what we do. I've got this cell phone here that I can put a GPS in and take me to any job site that I need to. I can remember back in the day when we would install a garage door for my grandfather's company, they would have, MapQuest papers written out that would tell you how to get to the job site. So there's been a lot of things that have evolved and really changed the game for us. So I'm excited to see how it changes in the future, but I can definitely see a difference where it's came and where it's at now. So
Cool. At Titan Talks, we like to close with a rapid fire round. Are you ready?
sure, let's go.
How has running Camco helped you grow as a person?
It's really taught me a lot about, I think, managing things. I've had to learn how to manage quite a bit. So I think it's really helped me grow just in that sense.
Since starting the company, what would you say has been your biggest mistake?
Biggest mistake. Probably not dumping more money into marketing.
When would you say you learned and started to do that? When did it click?
Uh, It still hasn't quite clicked. I feel like I could do a lot more marketing. I know some guys in town that pay a lot for marketing, and I think that would probably be a big next step for me to really grow to that 5-year goal that we were talking about. So I think that that needs to click for me.
We talked about goals for your business. What would you say is your personal goal? Why are you doing all this, Cameron?
A personal goal. I would think to have some sense of financial freedom. Not sure if I'll ever quite really get what I'm looking for, but I think that might have been one of the goals in the beginning. And so um, it's definitely um, I think I'm working towards that for sure.
Right. And final question, reflecting on the last 6, 7 years, would love to hear about your proudest moment at the helm of Camco.
Proudest moment. Um, Probably those I would say, I don't know if I could name one, but just proudest moment, just when we can execute on a big commercial project. Everything runs great, no issues. Um, Trying to think of any situation in particular.
Yeah, would love
Um,
to hear an example if you can single something out.
let's see the hangar door job that we did in Morristown, Tennessee. We did 3 hangar doors. There was an 80 by 30 and two 60 by 20 hangar doors. Those were pretty impressive doors. I really had a sense of satisfaction when we completed those. They look and they run good. Customer was thrilled. So that was a pretty impressive job for us. But it just I think it kind of goes like most of our jobs. We execute, it looks good, runs good. They don't have to call us back. So, um, but yes, I was pretty thrilled for that one.
Outstanding. Well, congratulations, Cameron. We wish you all the luck in the world here at Topline Pro. We're proud to be partnered with you. And thank you so much for being a part of Titan Talks.
Yeah, thank you. It's great. Look forward to working with you all in the future. I've had great success with everything you all have offered. So I look forward to continue to work together.